Peace and blessings, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Queen Osset here. Today we're going to take a look at a new deck that has been put out by Maia. If that name rings familiar or sounds familiar, it is because she is the creator of the Illustrated Herbiary. This deck came out last year. Remember, a beautiful guidebook, and the cards were in the back of the book. They came on a sheet that you had to tear them apart. From what I understand, I believe this is now like a deluxe version where the cards come separate. But my deck has held up quite well. This is what it looks like. I edged it in blue. Now when you tear it apart, you have those little nibs left there. I just filed them down. I edged it, and I haven't had any cracking, bending, creasing of the cards. Let's see. I guess you could say it's similar to Llewellyn's cardstock. So just to give you a refresher, I'm going to put on my glasses so I can see what I'm doing. Anyway, yeah. So her cards were like this. This is still available. Lavender. So it had the name of the plant or the herb or the root at the bottom, and then some keywords to go with it. Elderberry, cyclicity, cyclicalcity. Anyway, self-heal, ripple outward. So I have this somewhere, this walkthrough somewhere. I guess I should create playlist. Is that what it is? Anyway, you didn't come here to see that. You came to see her new deck, which is called the Illustrated Bestiary. And from what I understand, there's going to be a third one coming out next year. Crystals, the Illustrated Herbiary. So, beautiful guidebook again. I love, can't get this open. Here we go. This is what it looks like on the inside here. So this one is teal and black. And the herbiary is copper and blue. You can see that. And that's what the back of the cards look like. So, same concept. Cards in the back of the book, perforated, so you have to tear them apart. And you end up with a 36 card deck. I've edged this in various shades of teal and green, and that's what the back looks like. You can see a hoof and a tail with some feathers there. Leaves and such. Okay, so Maia says, this is a gorgeous book. Just look at the first illustration there. It's how many pages? 166 pages. Each entry has a color photo, a write-up, their scientific name, and a ritual. So she says here, she gives you guides on how to use this book. She tells a story how she was introduced to the world of animal medicine. Don Antonio sat in the back of the boat, making minute movements with his hands and chuckling to himself. The Amazon River was broad and sluggish, and we were drifting only slightly faster than the mesmerizing motion of the shaman's fingers. He caught me watching and nodded toward the jungle. Not for the first time, I scanned the tree line, baffled. It was a few days before I realized he was imitating the sloths, perezoso in Spanish. They hung from branches high in the canopy, the moss growing off their backs, blending them seamlessly with the foliage. Sloths do move, but you need a large dose of patience to see it. I'm sorry, I keep looking at Nakia. Don Antonio imitated their slow motion movement, amusing himself for hours as we toured the river. Teaching beside a real deal shaman was eye-opening in none of the ways I expected. Sure, there were ceremonies filled with strange scents and mysterious chanting, but the real lessons were the quiet ones. Witnessing how Don Antonio moved through the world, reverent and humble, curious and laughing, was a gift in of itself. She goes on to talk about listening to his stories, looking for non-human companionship. And in this world, I know this day and age, many of us want to disconnect from our fellow human beings, but that's another video, right? She says working with animal medicine is about opening your mind and heart to the energies animals hold in the world and then gently asking what they have to teach you. While the animals you find in this book may not live near you, their energy is part of the web of which you too are a part. We share this world with so many creatures, each holding a place, not only in the physical world, but also in the ecosystem of spirit. Wow. When we talk about habitat loss and animal extinction, I can't help but wonder what energies the world will lose when a particular species passes from this earth. If they are gone in physical form, will we remember the farsightedness of eagle and the deep understanding of dolphin? We humans are part of this tapestry as well. Sometimes we are threads, sometimes weavers, and sometimes, like the Greek fates, it is we who cut the threads, our actions rippling across the lives of many species. And then she has here the bestiary watch list. Due to climates or due to changes in climate, deforestation, and loss of ecosystem, many animals are struggling to survive. To increase awareness, this icon marks the most vulnerable species in this book. So the icon she's talking about is this, and I guess you'll see that as you go through the book. Anyway, as I said, the book is it's fantastic. It's full of color. How to use this book? Be the animal, she says. There's an ancient tradition of slipping into the skin of an animal to see how it feels to be that animal. Another one is invite the animal into your dream time. Before sleep and after the lights are out, sit on the side of the bed with your feet flat on the floor. Sit up tall, allowing your body to be a conduit between the earth and sky. Breathe here, feel your skin, quieting your thoughts. And picture your mind like a pond or a watering hole. Invite any animals who have a message to come visit this pond during dream time. And of course, keep a journal by your bed. And then she also says free write. Set the timer for 10 minutes. Start by drawing a card from the deck and ask, what message do you have for me? And begin writing it. Don't stop until the timer goes off. The idea is to continue writing even when you have no idea what words will come next. So, as I said, there's a lot of things, beautiful places of wisdom and information and such that you can work with here. So, the very first one, and my cards are not in the order of the book, is the white-tailed deer. And, my last walkthrough, or the one before this, was the white hart. Yes, that's Nakia. my sidekick. You gonna hang around up there, baby? Ah, all right. Okay. So let's take a look at the cards. Now, I want you to look closely at the Herbiary card. Look closely. And then I want you to look closely at the Bestiary card and tell me if you can see a difference. So we'll begin here with Gray Wolf, and that is Nurture Connections. Tabby Cat, You Are Worthy. Spring Peeper. Evolve into your next becoming. Honeybee. I don't know, is it okay for me to hold this up like that? I'm going to try different places. And you all let me know in the comments which view is better for you. Sea turtle. Blue dragonfly. Commune with nature. Appreciate the process. Cow and bull. Cow and bull. White-tailed deer, which was the first chapter in the book. Screech owl. Get creative. Nuthatch. Change your perspective. Then there's us, human. Remember forgetting. Delight in daring. 5-line skink. Sea eagle. Work together, house mouse. Navigate life with determination. This is one of my spirit animals here. The red salmon. Not very glamorous, is it? Zigzag spider. Common raven. Grow your truth with a black snake. Broad-winged katydid. Black bear. I like the moon cycles. Asian elephant. I'm curious about that one. That looks like the DNA. Orca. Common tortoise. Andalusian horse. An Andalusian horse. Red fox. Little owl. I have two owls. Barn owl. Earthworm. Eastern oyster. Your monarch butterfly. Digest your past. Beaver. Make manifest. Get these out of here. Don't want to have a mess. Whooper swan. River otter. Pleated woodpecker. Interesting. And a house finch. So, there you have the 36 cards. Now, I was curious about, well, the Asian elephant, which I'm going to show on this side, and human. So let's see what she has to say. Did you notice the difference between the herbiary card? I'm going to show you the difference. And the bestiary. At the very bottom of the bestiary card, right there, is the page number where you can find the animal. Even though in the front of the book she has a table of contents, but they're not in alphabetical order. See, that's the difference. So I appreciate having the page numbers on the bottom of the cards. Small, unobtrusive, not really problematic for me. Let's see, in the herbiary, how is it set up here? Yeah. It would have been good to have the page numbers on those cards. You had to flip through them. Okay, so human, she said, is on page 159. Human would have been the last card of the deck. And she says here, remember forgetting. Someday, when the animals gather to tell the tales of being, they will say, remember when humans went through the great forgetting? They forgot they were one of us. They forgot we are brothers and sisters. They forgot that they too are of the earth. The animals will shake their heads and ruffle their feathers, remembering the rift and the near catastrophic destruction the humans caused in the throes of their forgetting. Even now, humans know there is something missing, something lost. We live our lives with a nagging nostalgia, a longing for something we can't quite name. What is it that you are forgetting? And the ritual is to create a council. Choose 3 animal spirits animal spirits as your council of advisors. These could be animals with whom you already feel a kinship, or you could select them by using the cards that come with this book. Now use free writing to channel each animal's perspective. Grab your notebook or journal, set a timer for 10 minutes, and begin with this prompt. This is, name the animal advisor. While you humans are ingenious and creative, you don't always see the big picture. Here's what you are missing. And start writing and don't stop until the timer goes off. You will probably feel silly or lost for the first few minutes. You may even feel like you're just making things up. That's okay. It takes a little time to sink into the flow. Do this with each of your animals and return to this technique when you need advice and guidance. Interesting. And for reflection, what makes us human? Over the centuries, many great thinkers have written about what defines a human. Is it that we use tools? That we create language? Is it our ability to debate philosophy and morality? Are humans defined by our ingenuity or destructiveness? Is it the ability to love a defining human trait? What makes humans human? So, there you have it, a brief walkthrough of the Bestiary, Illustrated Bestiary Oracle deck, 36 cards, created by Maia, and it's available. It's $20, readily available. Just be prepared to tear the cards apart. As I said, they will be perforated. So you might want to pull out those magic markers and edge them, make them pretty. I use the nail file to smooth down the nubs, and it works fine for me. Cardstock, I mean, it's not the greatest, but I haven't had any issue with tearing, as I said, bending, anything like that. So, humans, let's see if we get a message from an animal before we leave, and then I'll let you go. Let's see. Communing with nature. Commune with nature. The blue damselfly. I called it a dragonfly. Blue damselfly. Let's see what the message is. Page 151. Yeah. Of course, it has a scientific name. Damselfly. Looks almost like my background here, doesn't it? Oh. Damselfly is a creature of water and sunlight, her rainbow wings moving faster than the human eye can follow. Only partially of this mortal realm, Damselfly can lead you to the interstitial spaces where magic lives and the earth elementals dance, showing you the rich complexity that exists even in the smallest patch of the natural world. Look to these tiny beings to be seduced so you can fall in love again with the wonder of life and being alive. When you release the illusions woven by culture and civilization, you will find your own effervescence and iridescence. What's real? Blue Damselfly asks. And what do you want to be real? Interesting. And the ritual to tend the magic. Put out offerings for the elementals. Let's see. Build a cairn in your yard. These stacks of stones are a way to pause and honor the natural world. They're a prayer made physical. Plant a garden. Bring home a potted plant. Hand wind chimes. Keep a bird bath in your garden, yard, or on your deck. Put prisms and mirrors in the garden. Sing to the birds. Build a bee hotel for the carpenter bees. Whatever you choose to do it in the spirit of reverence and intentional connection. Recognizing the small magics. And I was just talking to someone today about recognizing or honoring the small bits of light that shine in the darkness, not to allow oneself to be overwhelmed and overtaken by the darkness that seems to be permeating our lives these days. Look for that tiny shaft of light and hold on to that. Anyway, are you always looking for the big magic? Wow, what's going on with my hair? I need a haircut. Anyway, are you always looking for big magic and ignoring the small, everyday magics that make life beautiful? Life is full of serendipitous and magical moments, like when you get a call from a friend just as you are dialing her number, or when you ask for a sign and find a feather on your morning walk. These moments fade into the background unless you actively acknowledge them. Sometimes, in our desire for big magic, the lightning bolt or fireworks, we forget that these small moments that warm our lives are like candle glow. So, just keep that in mind. Pay attention to the small magics in your life. And with that, I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you, take care, and I'll see you in the next video.